push the button. Hello! I was getting way too excited about Lindsay's thread and needed to back the hell off and let her do her thing. But I saw a cool question by Laura Miller asking, how do you comfortably deal with people who you think are being mean? And I thought, okay, that's cool. That's something I can talk about on my own and say hello. And I don't know if this is going to make any sense. This might just be Shannon logic, but bear with me. So there are 2 points you kind of got to know going into the answer. And my answer is that overall, big picture, is that you have to, what I call, empty your cup, as in cast aside your preconceptions. Your preconceptions are based on your your total life experiences and your reactions to them, your cognitive functions, your background, etc., etc. Preconceptions. Your lenses of reality. You have to accept that they're not the whole picture, they're not perfect, they're not complete. And putting that aside, point number 2 is that humans are, on every single level, biologically hardwired to be social, whether we like it or not. And it comes right down to neurological and hormonal level. Like, when people are like throwing their fits and trying to console each other or looking for validation from tribe, it comes right down to our nervous systems. We regulate each other. We automatically regulate each other. That's a huge part of connecting and human connection. Like, it comes right down to that. So, when your kid says, I want a cookie, and you say, no, and they go, bleh, then your job from there is to, what? Calm them down, make them cooperate, right? You're regulating them. That never ends. Same thing with adults. And when you're encountering someone you see as mean, or just kind of out of control, what it comes down to is that you two are not in alignment. Your two neurological systems not congruent. So, we also obviously know that because they're mean and you're uncomfortable, that means I'm jumping ahead. What part of the regulation process is whoever has the strongest energy and the most consistent energy is who's going to adjust to who. Like, you have two different energies coming in, right? Like, maybe one person's really steady and the other person's like blah, 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 blah. Whoever's the most consistent and strong in that is going to win. The other person is going to adjust to that or adjust to that, right? The whole situation that's happening here is you want to be regulated with them. So it's innately going to be uncomfortable. And obviously, you do not feel comfortable coming up to their level. Therefore, you need them to come down to your level. So, you have to, like, what I personally like to do, I take a deep breath. Don't worry about filling in gaps of conversation. Don't worry about how I come off. Like, cast that aside for a couple seconds. or whatever it is you're thinking. Just don't worry about anything other than breathe. Any reactions you're having, any thoughts you're having, just let it settle. And then know that your preconceptions are your preconceptions, and only use them as a springboard for clarification questions to get on the same level. That's your whole intent. That is your whole goal. So you're calm, you're steady, you've got a goal, you have an intention, you're going in. You're this person, baby shark, do. And they're coming in like mean, crazy, bully, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to try to hit one of these points, like any of this. You're going to find something that you can relate to, or something you don't understand that you want to understand a little better. Sometimes it can be feeling based. I mean, whether or not whether a person is thinking or feeling type, they still have feelings, and a lot of what's going on is still driven by feelings. Feelings are part of the thinking process. So you can either go in on a feeling point, like maybe they're discriminating against a whole group of people, and you're like, well, I don't know why you would do that. I don't relate to that. But maybe you relate to, it is annoying when, freaking Karen steals cookies. That would make me feel terrible too. And they'll be like, oh, that might, they may not right away, start calming down and bearing their soul, but, they'll go, yeah, and then feed you more information. Or, if you really just have no idea, you can just say, frankly, look, I don't understand. I want to understand. And then leave the questions, where are you coming from? What's your intent? Blah, 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 blah. And if you just keep breathing, keep steady, keep that intention in your mind, eventually you're going to hit some point. They're going, blah, blah, you're going to hit a point. And then they're going to steadily come down to your point. And before you know it, two of you are grooving. The conflict eventually will end. The tension will end. And you're not always necessarily the one that's correct in the situation. You might learn something. You might go, oh shit, they have a point. So no matter what, I think there's always, it feels like, to me, I think it's a win-win situation no matter what, even if it is a bit uncomfortable. And if it just keeps going and going and going, 10 minutes go by and they're still hooting and hollering and you just can't take it anymore, you're calm, you're chill, so okay, well, you probably have the capacity to go, okay, well, I can't handle this. And you can leave. But that is my opinion on how to handle people who are being mean. I don't know if that made any sense.